What's the most effective form of exercise for someone in their late 50s? This is JJ Virgin, 4-time New York Times bestselling author, celebrity nutrition expert, and fitness Hall of Famer. I've been on a lifelong quest for answers to the toughest health questions. And now I'm sharing what I found with you. Welcome to Ask the Health Expert. Nicolette Mott 1 from Instagram asks, what's the most effective form of exercise for someone in their late 50s? Okay, so I will be right back on that, but I would ask you even to go further with that question of really what's the most effective exercise based on specific things that you're dealing with, issues you're dealing with. I'll bring up some of the most common ones in the 50s, but these could be happening to you in the 30s or 40s too. So we'll be right back to talk about that. All right, exercise in your 50s. So I'm going to assume a couple things could be going on. All right, let's just assume a couple things could be going on. Number one, you're losing muscle and you could be losing bone. And here's the big thing with bone. You do not want to lose it. It's much easier to keep it than regain it. So we don't want to lose bone. And we also don't want to lose muscle. And that whole thing of if you're not using it, you're losing it. Well, that is super true as we age. So let's not do that on my watch. Okay. So that's the first thing. Flexibility could be an issue here too. So that's another one. And possibly gaining some body fat. So there's another one. So let's look at what we can do that could help all of those things. And what I would say is I don't really do much different stuff. What's interesting for me is I'm in my 50s. What I did in my 20s, I've actually got lower body fat in my 50s than I did in my 20s. I'm 13% body fat. And I work out about 25% as much as I used to. You're going, huh? Head scratcher. Here's why. Because I learned the right type of exercise to do. So here's what I tell you. As we age, if you are not moving and using it, you're going to be losing it. So we really want to focus on what we can do to hold on or preferably build our lean muscle mass, hold on to our bone mass. And that is where resistance training is super duper duper important. Resistance training is key here for helping you hold on to your muscle and hold on to your bone. And so, and again, shout out plug for my Fast Fitness program at jjvirgin.com, where I go through how to do this with free weights and body weights, easy things that you can do at home. But again, I work in what's called the hypertrophy range, somewhere between 8 and 12 repetitions or about 20 to 30 seconds. And I use multi-joint exercises. That would be things like a squat, a bent over row, a push-up, things that aren't just one single joint, like say a bicep curl, that are more functional, that are more similar to things that we would do in everyday life. Because these are things we need to get up out of the chair, to get groceries out of the car, etc. So that's the first one that's super important. Now, the next thing is, as we age, we start to reduce growth hormone. We don't want to do that. Growth hormone is the hormone of youth. So one of the key things for helping you boost growth hormone is high intensity interval training. That is where you go all out for anywhere from 10 to 60 seconds. And then you basically recover for twice as long. Although the fitter you get, the faster you recover. And you are going all out, my friend. Like push it, like run up the stairs. Cycle as hard as you can. And what's cool about high intensity interval training is, it never gets easier. That's not necessarily cool. You're like, that's great, JJ. No, but it never gets easier. You get stronger, but you keep pushing. So you're going to do that to accumulate anywhere from 4 to 8 total minutes of bursts. Again, burst, recover, burst, recover. That triggers the release of lactic acid that triggers the response of your body producing more growth hormone. So super important. Another really important thing for 50 plus is, and this is, all these things apply for all of us at any age, by the way, is making sure that you also recover well. We focus so much on the workout, but the recovery is just as important. When you sleep is when you're going to repair muscle, raise growth hormone, etc. So sleeping, restorative sleep, super key. And one other thing that I'm really kind of mad at myself for, so don't let this happen to you, is I actually was a gymnast and an acrobat. I know this is crazy. When in my, from the age of basically 4 to 20, I was a gymnast and an acrobat. And I'm 6 feet tall, so this is a little bit ridiculous, but I would do like tricks off of stairs, off of fences, off of barrels. We would go to old, like senior citizens' homes, and we would do this stuff. And then I was wondering why my son wanted to do tricks off of barrels and stuff, because he did too, which was kind of funny. But anyway, I was the first tricker, I guess, way back when, or parkour or free runner. So I used to be super duper flexible. I mean, crazy flexible. And then I just stopped paying attention to my flexibility. And here's the thing, that is clearly one place where if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So I force myself to do yoga now, because if I don't do that, I won't stretch. So really learn about yourself and what you need to do this. And so I think another super key important thing here is to make sure that you are doing flexibility work. Now, we know some resistance training, full range of motion is going to help there, but not enough. So especially focus on the areas you're tight. We always want to stretch the areas that were loose. We don't need to stretch those. They're loose. Stretch the areas you're tight. Super duper important. All right. Now, one other thing, resistance training is going to help you burn more fat because it helps you get more insulin sensitive quickly in the muscles. First place we can restore insulin sensitivity. The more insulin sensitive you are, the better you are at burning fat. And more muscle means a better metabolic rate all day long. Okay. So resistance train, HIIT training, and get that flexibility in. There you go. Now, the most important part of this equation is you taking action. This is JJ with Ask the Health Expert. I do this 5 times a week, so make sure you never miss a show by going to subscribetojj.com.